1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Meso!
Meso!
We're back. Another episode. We got a guest this time.
Yay, so exciting.
We haven't had a guest in a while, and
It's
so
been a
I think
minute.
that's exciting. And we're going to try to have them more often, maybe knock a couple out this week because we're on a comedy festival, so we got a lot of friends in town, and should be fun. Plus, we're going to have a live one. The next one's going to be a live one, so get ready for a slightly worse episode. Live episodes aren't as good. I think is every time I see a live episode of any podcast, I'm like, I'd rather just watch the original one. It doesn't sound as good. It doesn't look as good.
When we originally were doing Whiskey Brothers episodes, they were fun because the crowd showed up to watch us stunt drink. The episodes themselves, completely unlistenable. But the live event was really, really fun.
Yeah. I've been to a couple.
Yeah. They're just terrible.
Incredibly long. They go 4 hours somehow.
Sometimes.
You're like, how is this podcast 4 hours long? No, you're like,
those guys don't know where they are anymore.
That's the problem. Is after you drink too much. I had a podcast that we had 2 episodes. Me and a comic named Zach Dixon, and I don't know if you remember him. It was called Bench Drinking, and what we would do is we'd have a guest, and we'd have a bottle of whiskey, and then the 3 of us would drink the whiskey and talk about all things sports, everything. And by the time the bottle was halfway gone, we were just screaming about professional wrestling and things that didn't really matter. And so it never really worked out.
It always devolves into that. And back in the primordial days of podcasting, like in the 2011, 12, there weren't enough podcasts out. So this was like novel and people were like, oh, this is kind of fun to watch. But when you get into the fact that like everybody's neighbor and barista has a podcast, that your Uber driver
now there's like good podcasts out.
You have choices. It's like, why do I want to listen to one? Like the order is this. It's interesting people talking about interesting things. And then probably interesting people talking about things you're not really into. And then people you don't really know talking about stuff you are into. And then down at the bottom is just drunk people talking about shit you don't know, about people you don't know. And that's what most of the podcasting has become.
That is. We started filming during the day, which really helps. We used to have, I don't know. It's interesting because when we do a night podcast, we usually have a drink or two, and those are usually just fun pretty easily. But then whenever we do a daytime one, all of us are drinking coffee and tea. We get aggravated. We're screaming about the Nickelodeon documentary. It's pretty. It gets pretty aggressive.
It's better
sometimes.
than let's go tape after the show we just did, which never worked.
But we got a guest today. Do you want to introduce him? Or you want me to?
You introduce him and introduce his special because that's exciting. You guys both have specials out, but we should also say who we are. I'm Jamie Rowan. This is Andrea Youngblood.
And if you don't know that, that's weird.
That is
weird. Slade Ham, everybody, just came out with a special Signal Noise yesterday on YouTube, which would be, what is the April Fool's Day?
April 2nd.
April 2nd.
I didn't want to do the first.
Yeah.
You have to think about that stuff.
Yeah. So April 2nd, and I watched it. Very funny. Produced very well. And I hope it's getting the views that we want, but as someone who just put out a special, I know that it's probably not.
I'm not even looking right now. I
looked for you.
Thank you, sir. Now I know it's not. I don't have a number I'm paying attention to. It's if I don't
know what the number is.
None of us know.
Yeah. So we talked about this yesterday.
But I've taken the feedback from some places. I've gotten some emails back from some people I madly respect who had no incentive to reach back out. And some people have reposted it who also have no incentive. And those are the ones where I'm like, okay, this is of that quality regardless of the eyeballs. I'm good for a second. I'll cry about it in 3 weeks when there's no more eyeballs.
Well, since you haven't looked, you'll be excited about this. We have actually prepared all the comment sections from YouTube. We're going to read through it.
I read through all of them, and it seems like right now it's all supportive, like friends and family and stuff.
And friends and stuff. Good.
So I think you're good on that. I didn't see a negative one. But also I got bored after I didn't see a negative one. So I was like, I can't read.
What's your
all
ratio?
These nice
Is it 1 out of every 10 that's bad? Or?
No. My ratio is not bad. So right now I'm sitting at 170, I think, comments wise, and mean people. I'm sitting at probably about seven comments.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. I'm pretty happy with that. I expected way worse.
I like the fact. I want you to be the guy who texts me when I get the first bad.
Oh,
comment.
I'll look if you want. But here's the thing: is I looked at yours, I don't see the bad ones yet, and I'm like, God damn it, give me a couple of bad ones. I want to feel, But here's the thing: is you put yours out to mine went on a different comics page, and everyone's like, man, I went to Reddit. Don't go to Reddit. That was the worst. Oh God, I almost killed myself.
Reddit's the sloppiest. Reddit is you have to know how to use Reddit. You have to use Reddit. Well, but if you need to know something, you can't go ask because people don't want to help on Reddit. You have to go on Reddit and tell people the best way to do this thing that you don't know how to do, and then they'll correct you through the comments. So if you can figure out a way to go on Reddit and go, this is the worst comedy special I've ever seen, people want to be contrarian. They'll jump to your support.
Oh, it's not that bad.
That's my plan. I'm going to post my own and tell them how bad it is.
Mine got posted in a podcast forum of one of Mark's podcasts, and it got upvoted a lot. That's the thing is most of the good on Reddit anyways, the people that have good shit to say aren't usually like, hey, here's what I thought about how great it was. Yeah. It's always literally one guy's like, how do we think this could have been better? Mm-hmm. And then he like listed all these things, and I was like, this guy's never fucking touched a microphone in his fucking life.
It goes beyond a microphone. My criterion for that, if I won't go to your page, I won't chase down these comments, but mentally I'm like, if I know this to be true, nobody who's ever made anything of consequence, right? You're not out there posting negative comments on other people's shit.
Oh, no, I don't give a shit.
Because you've made something.
I think them.
You think them. We think them all day. And then we call our friends and we text our friends, but they're not in the public.
Talk shit about everyone's fucking
Absolutely.
thing. Yeah.
I have negative comments on my special. They're just not on the page.
It's
inside the community. But that's once I recognized that, I was like, oh, people who make stuff don't do this, and the people who don't make stuff don't really interest me. Like, you don't even understand what this is.
Yeah, so 100%.
It's way easier that way.
The internet's just a horrible place that we all have to live on, and that fucking sucks that we have to do it. But
it makes me think of that Ralph Barbosa thing. Like, unless it's somebody famous talking shit on you, and then that could be good for you. Mm-hmm. Like, that could be great for your career.
Because people want to be contrarian. Yeah. They want to go, oh, George Lopez doesn't like that guy? Well, fuck you, George Lopez. I don't like you because you did that thing with the kidney and your wife, and you're an asshole. I'm gonna jump. I'm fans of this guy, regardless.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is an interesting thing. But I think the special looks good. I think even if it doesn't get the views, I think having it out is just a thing that helps. I think you get eyes on it. I think certain people that are paying attention, they get their eyes on it. I think clubs get their eyes on it. I mean, mine specifically, I'll say a comic that I've looked up to for years, I won't say who it is, reached out to me and was like, hey man, I'm coming to Texas, do you want to do a co-headlining run? And I'm like, in my brain was like, I don't want to fucking co-headline with you. Well, I mean, he's
I get to go first, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, but also it's a thing where he's like, oh shit, now this guy's on the same level, and so it doesn't matter how many views. It's
a separator, and I try to say, even when comics are thinking about doing specials right now, anybody who's thinking about taping, I always say, like, figure out the thing you can do that separates you just a little bit more. If everybody's shooting in the same club with the same backdrop, do what you did, dress it up, bring in a better camera. Like, every one of those is a slightly better separator, and then you're not up against everybody. You're up against people who are like, oh yeah, that guy's one of us in a much smaller room.
Yeah, I hid my room. I hid it. A lot of people are like, that was a huge room. I go, there was 60 people at that show.
I tell you, I wouldn't have shown the audience at all.
Yeah. Damn.
Well, no, I just made it. I saw a special.
Your audience was ugly too, dude.
I saw a special the other day that I swear to God had to have been edited by AI. But it's this girl, and in her special, the crowd is about 21 people, and there is a camera on the crowd. And then her opening joke is something about, does anybody have some sort of issue or not? And it cuts to the crowd. And there's about 3 guys clapping because that's all you can see in the room full of 21 sitting by the camera. And then it cuts back to her and she goes, see what I mean? Just the women. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's not even true. And also the camera edits were so like frenetic.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, you just let a robot go to whatever was moving the most on the screen at the time.
You know whose special I did like that was like bizarre and weird? Was a couple years ago, Maria Bamford put out her special.
Jordan Brady directed that. The one in her living room? With
Jordan Brady?
Uh-huh. I think he directed that.
No. The drummer?
Sure. I think so.
The kid from here?
No, Jordan Brady, who did I Am Comic.
Oh, okay. All right.
No. You listen to too much Blue October.
There's a local drum. I call him a drummer because this is all going to get back to him. I don't care. He's a killer. He's an amazing drummer, but he also started comedy.
And you're a terrible comic, Jordan.
He says he's been doing it 10 years, but I've been doing it 10 years, and I haven't seen him until the last year or two.
Well, you just called him a drummer.
He's a killer
he's
drummer.
He's a phenomenal drummer.
Killer drummer.
I don't know the kid. No, Jordan Brady directed I Am Comic, the original documentary. And I Am
Okay, yeah. I haven't seen that. That's the one where... No, I'm thinking... He did I Am Road comic as well.
It's all three of those.
Which was like really shit on Houston. Because Houston was a different place for a while. Because he's been around long enough... I'm not trying to date you, but he was around in the heyday of Houston comedy before Secret Group existed.
Oh, yeah.
So when I started, we were in a desert. I got to be honest. There was not much because this was post your generation's pop. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know if like you guys all kind of moved. I'm curious. You guys all kind of started doing road gigs and moved on, and that because that's kind of happening with a lot of my group right now. Is we're all on the road. We're not here. Fortunately, we still have the club and it's running and all that kind of stuff. So now I think Houston has another heyday. I don't think this is magical because I think a lot of our good people, we've all left. And we're still kind of here. It's like it's a cycle, right?
That's always been cyclical. And so when the Laugh Stop was here, right?
Yeah.
We all had... and I was coming in from Beaumont up until like 2007, 2008. Yeah. I was driving in every week.
So you're a Beaumont comp. You're from Beaumont.
Originally, I owned a club there for 5 years.
Yeah.
But the scene was the scene on Monday nights. You'd come in, and when the club closed in 2009, really before Pete moved it to that upstairs room, when the original one closed and then that last one closed upstairs, there were a bunch of us who were comedically homeless. Like the Improv was here. The Showcase was down on the south side, but none of the Laugh Stop guys played that.
Was that in Montrose, like where it became like a Brazilian steakhouse or something?
No, that's what was that one?
The Brazilian Steakhouse?
It's like on West Gray and Shepherd.
West Gray and Shepherd, yeah. So right up the street
it became
from
a Sherlock's.
It was a Sherlock's for a little bit, and then it became
the
local poor, and now it's a high-rise.
As it should be.
Oh, yes, it's the... I know exactly what you're talking about.
As every staple should become eventually.
So when that club closed, when clubs like that close, you would find it if the Secret Group were to shut its doors tomorrow. There is a group of comics who are only
We got another week.
Yeah, that's fair. So in 7 days, 6 days, you told me, but I don't want to say it on air. When something like that happens, you find out who's really a comic. Like it becomes all these guys who just mic there and hit the Mondays and weren't really comics. They're like, oh shit, well I guess we'll just fade out. And I've watched so many of those guys fade out. They're all parents now and they have jobs and they have lives. But the comics who were like, man, this is what I do. We found the road. We started running shows at Sherlock's. We started putting these little satellite things around.
How sad? I hate to interrupt. But
go ahead.
How sad was it going from the Laugh Stop? Mm-hmm. Right, that's the one that was down there, right? Yes. Not the Laugh, because for a while we had the Laugh Stop and the Laugh Spot.
The Spot was up on the north side.
Kind of confusing.
Rest in peace, Don Lerner.
But anyways, so once that closed, for you guys to start a mic. And it's like in its fucking shadow.
But it felt right. We did it on purpose. We went in there and we struck that deal. We were like, if we're going to do this, this is where we want to be. Like, you'll give us the back room. We will turn this once a week. We were doing it on Mondays and then Sundays we had it.
All the time.
It was, comics hung out there. And we kind of made it our own little mini Laugh Stop. And then we ended up at the tavern and all. We had to move it around. And there's a point where you go, we didn't really want to run a room. We just wanted our clubhouse. That was it.
Yeah. It seems like there are a lot of young Houston comics that are producing little shows like in spaces that aren't necessarily clubs too. Mm-hmm. So I feel like there are the people who are intensely in love with comedy and they want to produce shows, and then there are the people that have nothing else going on and it's like they're just gonna make it happen because they have nothing else going on. But either way, the chaos of those groups jumbled together like works, and there is a little scene of like these like kind of weird shows that aren't necessarily at clubs, but they like pop up.
Or even good shows.
Yeah. Hold up. I said that too. I said there are people who produce really good shows, and there are people who like are kind of more chaotic, and you jumble them together, and it's a kind of cool little eclectic little scene.
I love some wild shows.
It's kind of fun.
The reason we brought Boondocks back is because it was always kind of a messy, sloppy piece of shit.
I love working out new material in like the shittier rooms like that. It's gone now, but that PJ's like upstairs that looked like it was like,
I hated that fucking room.
I loved that room. It was so disgusting and awful, and I for some reason, like, loved it. I could try anything there. I felt zero pressure. The guy downstairs was like, I'm sober. I've been here for 30 years. And then he would be drinking beer. Like, it made no sense.
There's like dollar hot dogs and shit. They were
open,
just sitting
yeah,
there.
just
Sitting in a tray. They're like, you want a dollar hot dog? And they're like, it's in warm water.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
There's something to having a gym like that, though, where you're just,
magic,
I feel comfortable. I don't feel like if I fail, we're all going to laugh at it because you knew I was trying something. And then also, if you kill in the right room, I remember when I first moved, when I was first here in Houston, I ran an open mic at a bar called the Davenport.
Oh, yeah.
And Davenport is an all-black bar. Just like there's like 2 white dudes in there on any given night, and they're both bartending. And we put the mic in there, and it was a fun because you knew if you did well, because every comic, crowd would get quiet, turn around for about 20 seconds, and you had your moment. And if you didn't have them, it would turn into utter chaos until you said goodnight. And hosting it was so fun because you got to play with that. I remember watching Jen Kober come in one night. I don't know if you know Jen out of Lake Charles. She came in, and it was the crowd had been so unruly, and then I watched her not just get them, but turn it into like an open mic standing ovation. And you're kind of like, this is those
there
two.
Are moments
that's
like that.
magic shit.
Yeah.
Me and Zod, we used to do. Did you ever do Fat Boys?
Oh God, yes.
God, was that a fucking?
I survived
room.
that. I did it with Rob Mungle, who ate a bag of shit and smiled about it, and then I won him, but it was like the least tasty victory I've ever had.
I won him one time. See, here's the thing: is me and Zod would go every week, and Ali would be hosting. He'd bring us up by the wrong names on purpose. That piece of shit. And then, but he would always be like,
"Oh no, I didn't do it for Ali.
White...
I did it when it was a one-nighter. I played it like I." Had
this was an open mic.
This
was an open mic on like Thursdays or something.
Yeah,
and we would go. It was like a cheap wing night, and it was like shitty cheap wells, and we would go and we would always bet like, I'm gonna have a better set than you, and we bet one drink, and then afterwards it would just be us arguing over who had the worst set, and because it was almost we'd be arguing over one laugh like the whole time, and I got him once, and there's a tape of it. But unfortunately, the tape was recorded on a Rich Williams flip phone, so it's just squared. Like, it's so bad. But I'm not proud of it. But I go up, I start doing material, and this fucking lady starts heckling me. And then she was like very made up and was wearing cheetah print. And weirdly enough, it's funny, we just put these in here today. They used to be in my garage. Weirdly enough, I was like, bitch, you look like the girl Gremlin. And everyone lost it. And then I just dig on her for fucking my whole set. And everyone's losing it. To the point I got a little confident. I go, DJ, hit the music. And then I do the fucking Carlton. Like, I was just fucking
got
jiving.
so confident you almost did some of your material.
Oh, God, it was so stupid. Yeah, I almost did, but I didn't. And I murdered. And then I have not been back since, because why would I?
Leave on a high.
I felt like I left on a high, but then at the same time, I was like, I remember in the car, I was like, you just sold your soul, dude. That was bullshit.
Those rooms make you so fearless, though. Times Square was that way coming. Like, there were some of these rooms that we would play that were just terrible. But you leave there, like, and I love open mics at like the Secret Group and stuff, like where you're like, oh, this is everybody kind of, you know, we're all gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
I like a night where you might not. I like a night where they might escort you to the door.
Yeah.
And it's just you and your words that prevent it. Those make you dangerous.
Secret Group, it can be as of lately, especially, I'll say it's been a mixed bag of mics. Like some you're like, man, this is a great mic, and then other night, even the shows that you're like, damn, what the hell's going on?
Are they just drunk?
Evans is just like a little drunk, a little roller coaster. Attendance is up and down lately. We're trying to figure it out, but it is you never know what you're gonna get. But I'll go up with 3 people. I don't give a shit. So
where'd you film your special?
At the Midtown Arts and Theater Center.
Ooh, fancy.
I wanted a theater. I also
65 people.
Hey.
It was, we did 67, 68 in the front section, and then we did another 300 behind that. So
there we go.
Hot shot.
Fancy.
But it was, that's one of these things I learned when we did the Andy Huggins special. I kind of was disappointed. We shot that at the
Also,
Heights
he
Theater.
he produces a handful of specials as well.
Yeah, we
which
should mention that.
Andy Huggins, which has been taken off, which is killer.
It's on Amazon Prime now. It's part of your Prime membership.
Nice, so you can watch it for free. And then Jerry Wayne Longmire,
we take that at
his
the
as
Secret
well.
Group.
I don't know where you can watch that.
That's on YouTube.
Yeah, but also Killer Comics.
Yeah,
so,
2 Houston legends.
But we did, when we did it, we kind of we did it at the Heights Theater, and I built out this backdrop. Like I had in my head this 3-dimensional kind of set piece. And in your head, it always takes up less space than it does in reality. So when we got in there, I realized I had Andy kind of closer to the back. And what you really want in a special for me is like this scale. You kind of want some distance, and that's when we went into the theater. I was like, I don't give a shit what we're gonna do, but I just want so much empty space behind me, and that's what we ended up with.
It was cool. The backdrop looks great. We got a.
Yeah,
I don't know if we have a clip, but I think we got it pulled up just so people can see it. Is there a? So I named my special, I'll tell you this. And literally the only reason I named it is because when I talk to people, I just go, I'll tell you this. I just say that. in my mannerisms, it's just in my vocabulary, right? And so that's why I came up with it. Do you have a reasoning behind the name, or
there's probably some multiple layers? But
look at that backdrop. That's fucking cool.
Yeah, that looks phenomenal.
Dope. The main principle in the show.
I like the stop. So many terrible things.
It's about what's important and what's not is the simplified answer, but also. It's a little bit meta because this is an attempt for me to try to cut through also the noise of stand-up comedy and how it exists, and me being just one little dude trying to poke his way through the wall.
That's all it is, right?
So it's all those layers and then like 2 or 3 things that only matter to me.
Are you playing Fortnite for real?
All the time. I play about 3 or 4 times a week.
Pretty good.
It's are you? I play no build though. I'm a punk.
Yeah, that's some punk shit.
Yeah.
But you know what?
No, God no. I have nieces, and
Okay.
there's a joke in that we kicked those little bitches off. That was
By the way, I really am like fucking exhausted because I have a new nephew and have been watching the other two children, my sister-in-law's
Like
kids
New?
this week. So literally we were up in the middle of the night because she was going to the hospital on Monday. She came back. They kicked her out because she wasn't having the baby. So we left their house at 3 a.m. Then we went back yesterday. She actually gave birth to a child this morning, but I've been watching a 3 and a 5-year-old, 2 children.
Those are the hellish ages too.
I can't take a shit alone. I can't shower alone. I can't.
Nothing.
I'm so grateful to
days like this that make you happy you're barren.
I am barren as fuck, and I'm I'm sad about it sometimes, and then I'm with children, and I'm like, thank God.
You gotta put some Velcro on them and stick them to the wall,
dude.
And
It
do what you
3
want.
and
They
5
can
is
wiggle,
nuts.
but
It's physically exhausting, but mentally no stimulation at all. It's just like,
I don't know. I think
it's like running on a treadmill.
yeah.
I think
it's not a Peloton.
Yes.
I think 3 to 5 is a cute age.
By the way, I
it's
love
fun.
them so much. If you're listening, I love them.
They're wonderful. But
I gotta say, if your fucking 3 and 5-year-old niece and nephew are listening to this, they got other problems.
I would die for them. I would adore them. But I also, like, as soon as they went to sleep last night, did my husband and I like immediately pour alcohol into our glass and drink multiple cocktails? Yes, we did. Here's
the thing, though. At 3 and 5, they're cute, right? They're cute.
Yeah,
they're fun.
fucking
They're very loving. They're like, they'll just come up to you, say, I love you, stuff like that. I have a 7-year-old now. Just his birthday's 2 days ago. And he recently went up to one of my friends who said something that he disagreed with and goes, this is why you're super fat. Like just
that blunt age,
crazy honesty and rudeness. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
That
You
3
can't
and
say
5
that
is
shit.
a blunt age too, where
Yeah,
they'll
that
just
can be
look up
honest.
with you like, why is your nose crooked or something like that? I just live like this.
And that hurts. It hurts when it comes from a kid because you're like, no one, you didn't see this on TV.
Well, it also right. They didn't see it on TV. It wasn't meant to hurt you. That's the part that hurts.
Yeah,
the
it's
most.
like an autism.
Just
It's an
innocent-
autism almost
yes.
that they grow out of. That you hope.
I adore them. It's just like last night they were like, I want Uncle Jared to tuck us into bed, not Aunt Jamie. And I was like,
they're probably scared of your cold,
I almost
frigid
went
hands.
in the corner and wept. I was just like, they're just children. But they were like, no, not you. Get out of here.
I can't imagine if the lights are out. I'm a 3 to 5-year-old, and I see your gangly skeleton body coming in. I'm being creeped out, dude.
Slender man.
I'm fucking terrified. I get it.
I'm sorry I don't have like a motherly bosom, but neither does Jeremy. He's a skinny fuck too.
You know what? Jeremy commented on my commented on my
one of the
on my
negative.
thing. Yeah, one of the negative ones.
He's
What a
like,
piece of
I hate you.
What
The
a
one you
piece
read
of
was
shit,
so eloquent.
dude.
Though.
I know, right?
That was so nice.
I'm gonna make a whole thing about all of them and then post them with some nice music. And
I really hope I've got some bad ones by now.
I'm sure you do.
By the way,
I mean, I hope you don't.
We
but
talked
I'm sure
about
that,
kids because
it's inevitable. It's gonna happen.
Nothing
right?
would make you
know.
happier.
Yeah. Well, no, it wouldn't make me happier, but I mean, it's gonna happen.
you are literally playing Fortnite on your own, both of y'all.
100%.
I play Fortnite all the time. I love it. Dude. I'm so good. Build is fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's what a lot of the adults play. Mm-hmm. I play build. I'm not great at build. Mm-hmm. I'm more like as soon as someone shows up, I just put up fucking walls everywhere kind of thing. And I also play
chicken shit.
I play with my 14-year-old who's a monster at this game, dude. He's so good at it. Where whenever we play build, he's like, "Dad, you got to build." I'm like, "I am building," and then we keep going, and then he's like, "Dad, we're just gonna play no build because you can't play build."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm playing build, dude."
That's why I don't do it. I play to my strengths. It's why I made a special instead of going to TikTok. I know so I go on there with my there's a little Indian friend named Chint. He kills like 21 people a game. I got a squad, and I don't have to do a whole lot. I'm not even that great.
Explain to the layperson, what is this? Civilization building?
Right. No, imagine if Hunger Games was a video game. That's exactly what it is.
You dress up in
get
cartoon
dropped
costumes,
on an island.
you shoot people in the face, and you dance on their dead bodies. And it kind of makes me smile a little bit.
It's fun.
Not going to lie.
I
One person survives.
On certain people's dead bodies.
Now you're catching on. Now you're catching on.
No, it's fun. It's fun. It's cute. It's kind of like a whole. It's like a little kid shooter game, kind of. Mm-hmm. Except for, it's fun.
Let me tell you why I play.
Nothing's cuter than dancing on dead bodies.
Correct.
For sure.
You also don't have to think at all. You just play, and you're like, I don't have to think about anything.
I play before
right
I go to bed at night because I know this about myself. My brain, as I'm falling asleep, chews on the last problem I had, right? Whatever I was dealing with today, my brain's going to want to solve it. And it's hard for me to figure out how I'm going to pay bills as a comic and promote my special and think about this as I'm falling asleep. But if I'm trying to figure out how I could have gotten away from the jelly bean gun or the big rocket that flew through the tree and hit my bus, like that, those are nonsensical things I can fall asleep to.
I relate to this 100%. I feel like you probably are more an anxiety person than this guy. Like, I have to have my
anxiety
brain
all the time.
But you're more of a boohoo boy. We've talked about this.
That's not the same. Those are two different things.
But exactly.
Andrew's given up a lot more than I have.
Yeah,
that's the.
I think I've given up.
I can tell by the way
I just started taking sleeping pills.
I feel like I can tell by the way that we're sitting that we're more high strung than you.
Why?
Both of us.
He's leaned back.
But
you're
fucking. No, but
I had to go back and look at our body.
He was going like this.
I'm hunched over like. I've been. I wish we could see a compilation of how many times I've adjusted my mic on every episode. I seriously just go like this the whole time.
But how many of those are because you're nervous, and how many of those are because you've seen hosts adjust their microphones?
No, this is just a fucking. I need
like,
something
do you
to
have
do
to
with my
turn
hand.
your brain? So at night, I can't listen to just white noise. I have to have something like that where it's like I'm listening to a story. Or I'm listening to someone talk about
music.
Shit. Yeah.
I used to just listen to my
anything.
wife talk. All right, that was stupid.
So that's the video game does that for me. So I can go to a place where pure white. I'll still listen to
But you're doing stuff with your hands.
It's irrelevant. It's all automatic.
Yeah, once you learn the controls, you're not thinking about it.
It's
you're
not
just like,
real
boom, boom,
problem
boom,
solving. It's very automatic. It's an off ramp for the day, and I will shoot any of you in the face if you want a piece of this.
I think it's fun.
I feel like I need to start playing video games.
Listen, I'll allow you. What do you play on? Oh, I guess it's a cross-platform.
Yeah,
doesn't
anything.
matter.
I'm on PS5.
All right, I'll give you. I'm gonna text you my thing. We'll
Let's
play.
do it for real.
We'll lose to 5-year-olds.
Adult men
Dude, I played
Fortnite.
one time. I know I've shared this story and you made fun of me for it, but one time I was playing. I was just by myself, right? No teammate at the time. And I go and I land at the same place as this other guy, right? We're running to a gun. First one gets the gun.
Yep.
Fucking whatever, right? So he gets the gun. And then I'm like, well, I'm dead. So I just start dancing. I'm like, and then he drops the gun and gives it to me. And I pick up the gun. And then he dances, and then we dance together, and then we walk around together, and we're teaming up.
You guys are playing two on
we're playing
everybody?
two on everybody, right? And so I'm like, this is fucking awesome. We're in a car, we're going around, like we're killing people. It's fucking awesome. Everyone's assuming we're cheating because we're not really cheating.
But
there's
a
no
little
rule
bit
that
you are.
can't do that. But there's no rule you can't do that.
You also can't organize it to do that.
Yeah. We just happen to get along, right? And so we go. He's a popular character, and so we get bombarded by this other guy who's the same character, and our car rolls over, whatever. He gets out. I accidentally kill him, right?
Yeah,
and the other guy, just because the same guy. How would I know, right?
Right.
So anyways, game ends. He adds me. He hops in. I was like, dude, this is so cool. I can't believe that we just fucking did that. How awesome was that? And he's like, I know, man. I was like, motherfucker. I was a 4-year-old. And he's like, do you want to play together? I was like, sure. It's pretty good.
It's the beauty of that. The anonymity on there is so wonderful.
I have no idea.
I had a similar situation. Who's your skin? I play as Deadpool.
I play as RoboCop.
That's pretty cool.
I
flew in to the same
spot. The sad
spot.
part is we both spent money on these skins.
No, I earned mine. I flew in to the same spot as this guy, and there was a gun, and I got there first, and I picked it up, and then the dude started dancing, and I put the gun down, and he picked it up, and he shot me in the face.
Yeah. I've tried.
That was the whole experience.
That thing happened.
That's kind of badass.
Yeah, that thing happened to me one time.
Can I meet this guy? He's probably
He
10.
talks like this.
That thing happened to me one time, and then after that, I was like, I tried to do that multiple times. That is once in a lifetime.
You caught, as a unicorn.
I was just like a cute kid,
misconnection,
just, like, wanting a friend.
Yeah, 100%.
Speaking of which, I let my friend's kid play my VR the other day. And I don't know, I went like this, like in case you didn't know what a VR was. Goggles.
It's going to look so antiquated in 10 years when we're like, let somebody borrow my VR.
Yeah, right. And so he's just this little white kid, sweet kid, but he always wants friends. And he always adds them to my account because it's my account, right? And so I get on and there's all these little kids trying to play with me. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But he mimics them online, almost like if you were a salesperson, to like become their friends. And so he's this like 7-year-old white
mirroring
kid.
them.
Yeah, he's just mirroring them when he's like,
actually
what are you
smart.
doing, bro? Like he's doing fucking bad accents. And I'm like, dude, chill the fuck out. You can't just do that. And then an English guy will come in and he's like, oh fuck. I'm like, what the hell? And then this fucking guy convinced him if he doesn't buy them shiny rocks on this game called Gorilla Tag. So I
don't do any of this.
Yeah, I don't either. This is the kid stuff,
yes,
right?
He does. He knows
He
all
spent
the terms.
I got kids, man. He spent $250 on my credit card. On
because your
fucking
credit card is
shiny
attached
rocks.
to the game?
On shiny
you
rocks.
can't do that on shiny rocks.
Yeah, that's all it says on the
For
receipt.
Gorilla
For Gorilla Tag.
I mean,
Now VR is fucking. I do play VR. That's fun. It's like there's a cool World War II fighter pilot game, and it's pretty intense.
I've got a Quest 2.
Yeah. I got the Quest 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So they're fun.
I got them for the Star Wars games.
The Star Wars. I played the really short one.
Yeah.
But I haven't played the really long one.
Yeah,
but
get them for the
fun.
Star Wars. Stay for the porn. That's
Yeah. That's
isn't there VR
that
porn?
is
Yes, there is.
I will say that's a little weird seeing my kid use the VR after I fucking used it 2 days before.
Is it better than just? I feel like it'd be like disorienting watching porn on it. Like I feel like it wouldn't be as good as just regular watching porn.
All right, yeah, you don't know anything about anything.
No, I've heard.
Imagine
I've heard
porn,
it
but in
deeply,
3D.
No, but I've heard it deeply described.
I imagine
by,
seeing a move on the screen would be different. It's not as good as the static
No.
image.
Well, so Louis J. Gomez was talking in detail about it, and that's the only reason I'm like the way he described it. He was like, like you like reach out, but you can't actually feel anything, and then like he's like it's kind of like a disappointment.
I'm not sure.
I
my
get,
mind's,
yeah. I'm not like setting up pillows
not so
around
Jedi
to
mind
pretend they're
trick
fucking
that-
tits or anything. You still have to use your imagination a little bit,
I can't see my hand. I'm not an idiot.
You get like a girl, one of those dolls or whatever.
It is like a vulnerable feeling watching porn in VR though. Like I don't really do it anymore. I've done it, but there's a whole setup, right? It's kind of like you put it on, you go to your bed, you got the controllers, you get to the porn. I watched this orgy one time, and I'm watching it. Everything's normal. I'm just like watching this couple fuck here, another couple fuck here. I'm like, this is pretty cool. And then I hear some shit going on behind me. I was like, oh shit, there's stuff. This is 360.
Yeah.
Right? And so then I find myself.
Balls in the face.
No. I find myself in the middle of an orgy, but because I want to look back, but since I'm laying down, you can't look back. So I get up, and then I'm kneeling on my bed in the middle of my bed, just like turning around, jerking off, and I'm like, this is. And I was like, if someone came in right now, I'm fucked. This is so embarrassing. So I was like, you know what, I can't. That's when I stopped watching it.
They're not there yet.
Yeah.
Once it's to the blinky place.
Yeah, I can't wait. You just close your eyes, and then I'm talking like I want Matrix porn.
It's eventually when they get to I think when they're able to combine it with the room you're in, where you just end up, it's not you having to go to this full-blown virtual environment. It's more the virtual person in your environment. When they get there, maybe, because you can see doors open and hear things and be participatory in your world like you could if you were having real sex.
Yeah, maybe someday you'll have sex with a real live
that's
girl.
That's also a thing, right? But this is not me and Andrew we're talking about. This is like all the people who need porn.
You remember that Black Mirror episode? Where those guys go in the video game and then they're like hooking up with each other.
Oh yeah,
they're like best friends outside, but then they start like falling in love with each other in the video game.
It's a dark place we're headed to, man.
Slope, dude.
And they're both in relationships, right?
Yeah,
on the outside. Yeah. That is a creepy episode because it's like they are best friends. It'd be who gives a shit that they're gay as hell? But
listen,
it's like,
if I could fuck my best friend and we were attracted to each other, I'd all day, right? Like, why not?
But if you
don't you want to ultimately be with your best friend? Is your husband not your best friend?
But I mean, it's different. It's different. I think
if he's not your best friend, you need to get a divorce.
I think it's so cheesy to say like my friend. It's just different what my girlfriends give me than what he gives me.
Who do you have? I don't know. I've never met.
I have like 3 friends. Actually, one of them might be driving down from Dallas on Friday to come to our live podcast.
Well, she might be the only one.
I know.
I assumed that your only friends were Jeremy
have many friends.
And me.
I truly don't have many friends. Like I'm not searching for friends. Like Jeremy's concerned sometimes because he is so social. And like you're pretty social, even though you're kind of a boohoo boy.
That's not even a good. It doesn't make any sense.
You like to go out and like be around people. I am truly happy. Like when Jeremy goes out of town, and I have mom friends, so that also like cuts into people who can just like meet up with me last minute, right? Like, hey, let's go get drinks. Not many of the girls my age here in Houston can do that because they have kids. So I've like learned to really fucking love like taking myself out to dinner, going to sit up at the bar, putting my headphones in, being my own little world. I'm like, I've kind of fallen in love with being alone a lot.
Sounds a little more boohoo than me.
No, I'm not boohoo. It's the best fucking thing. I've started going to movies alone.
the more examples you say.
But it is.
If you're an intro, and I'm an introvert. You're an extroverted person.
I like to be around and out, but I don't want to talk to anybody.
You're cynical and miserable, but you're an extrovert, right?
Yeah.
I enjoy, like, if I'm around people for 3 or 4 hours, I've got to go home. Like, all right, I need to go chill for a bit and just hang out, and then I'm like, oh, I can do this again. So the idea, I've always watched movies, or I'll go have lunch, or I'll go do whatever. Like, that shit doesn't bother me in the least because nobody's really messing with my. And then I still have
people like this guy or people in society, like the ticket taker at the movie's like, just one man, and like blinking at me like
we're just making sure you're okay.
I mean, it's nice, fine. But I'm good. Like even my own husband, like I get when you have the personality you have or he has, you don't get it. Like he's like, you need to like you go with friends while I'm with my friends, and I'm like, no. You go have fun with your friends. Have a blast.
This is why I do stand up. It's the most because if I go out in a social setting, it's all conversation and we got to talk and I got to spike the funny volleyball and blah, blah. On stage, there's no conversation. I get to come up, get what's on my mind out for an hour and then just bounce. No rebuttal, no conversation, no participation. Your laughs are there, but it's just me really up there for an hour by myself. And that's you should like that more.
100%. It's try it. Take yourself out on a date. It's the best. It is the best.
Yeah. Just Andrew
buy yourself a nice steak.
God!
Get myself some nice lingerie. Really cop a feel.
By the way, didn't you once tell a story that you ate edible underwear alone on the couch?
They're just fruit roll-ups.
I ate edible underwear. Yes. That was last
How stoned
episode.
were you? Were there no snacks?
Let's no, I was just curious what it tasted like. It does feel like, and I don't know anything about a woman's vagina, but but it does feel like edible underwear, really leaving you open to some fucking UTI situation, right?
Yeah, I don't get it. I think it's.
Have you ever seen those like G-string Smarties or whatever?
Yeah, it all looks like it ends up with sugar ants.
Yeah. It doesn't look great. Some Mentos, their fucking pussy overflows.
By the way, this is an hour off here, so we should do a mess of the week and give some advice.
Let's get to the mess of the week. Let's give some advice. Let's push some socials. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's do it.
This has been great. This is also quick.
I have to pick children up from school. I have to act like an adult.
Isn't that weird? I'm doing the same exact thing, taking my kid to the doctor's. He has a
AIDS.
prolapse rectum. My bad.
Oh my God!
The Hot Wheels car out. What?
Oh Jesus! No, he's just getting a checkup. That's it. His rectum's fine. I assume. I haven't looked at it. I'll ask the doctor.
Well, no, after the checkup.
We'll update you next
we'll
week.
Ask the doctor. Yeah, this is why no one is able to watch our stuff on YouTube. All right, let's. We got a video for it. We're just pulling it up.
You were doing the mess first, or the advice first? All right.
Mess of the week. I think there are multiple allegations on this one. Multiple FBI raids.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Diddy, baby.
P Diddy. What have his name's been? Puff Daddy.
I mean,
P Diddy.
Sean Puffy Combs.
Sean
I
Puffy
only
Combs.
know
Diddling's right in the name. You know he did it.
what. So what? This is me, and I'm saying this. Swear to God, I'm so not up to speed on
what's going
pop
on.
anything.
Oh, this is
at the
exciting,
moment.
dude.
But I have heard that I've heard the name several times in the recent past. Did he? What happened?
Oh, this is it. I'll give you a rundown because I'm paying attention to Bad Boy.
I still haven't figured out exactly what he did.
This is what he's done. All right, this is what he's accused. What did he do? This is what.
What did he did?
This is what he's accused of doing. Basically, he's gay. Well, maybe not gay, bisexual at least,
Okay,
right?
who didn't know that?
Which, yeah, right. People, I have friends that are like surprised. I'm like, the guy who wore all white suits.
We
Come
knew
on,
in the
you didn't
90s.
know. You didn't see
So
Mo
was
Money, Mo
Pop.
Problems video.
Is this gonna
He's
give you a
gay.
shot? All
That being said, none of that matters. But what matters is that he would like sign guys to Bad Boy or whatever. And he's like, hey, you want to make it? Gotta suck my dick. Kind of thing, right? He would do this with other rappers. And so there's like an audio recording of him fucking Meek Mills, apparently, like pretty hard, where it's just like.
Did someone sample it? Did someone sample it?
It's out there. Look, you can pull up YouTube Meek Mills, Puffy
Is
having
it in
sex.
a track?
It is over the top.
What did
crazy.
he say? And
What?
is it proven it's just audio?
Mostly he says, like it's mostly that.
Wait, is this
oh, you
proven
meant
that
like
it's him?
in response?
Yes.
So this was released by his bodyguard.
Who failed miserably at his job that evening.
Basically,
What?
Meek Mills breaks down and leaked audio confirms. All right, I haven't heard Meek Mills break down, but let's listen to the fucking. Let's listen to God. Well, we're not gonna watch another comic react to it.
Yeah.
That's fucking strange,
I was
right?
gonna stop you.
Listen carefully.
Fuck that shit, nigga. Fuck that ass, nigga.
Oh.
Okay.
It goes on.
Sounds
We
like-
can
hang
stop
on,
it.
hang on.
It does this for a long time.
Can you pull up the video of the black guys reacting to the fireworks show now?
It's the same
Get the
shit.
water, motherfucker! It is
Jesus.
the exact same audio. Play
That's-
those side by side,
That is crazy.
and that is the exact same audio.
But so not just him though. Apparently there's like
why am I laughing at this? That is wrong. You could hear slapping. That is so.
Yeah.
That sounded like a Jello wrestling match. That was the. That one, the one that says Jesus.
Black Jesus.
Black Jesus.
There's no way this audio in the exact same audio.
Money on the mouth, Vernon.
Hang on, you guys scoot it forward a little bit.
59
'cause
seconds, we'll
the
be all right.
fireworks haven't gone off yet.
it's not that different.
That's the same audio. Close your eyes, and that is the Yanni Laurel.
Yeah, it's pretty
Of-
close.
of audio.
And if we listen long enough on the other one, we'd hear a couple pops.
You're missing a few consonants
Yeah.
in the other one where they can't fully close their
Yeah.
mouth. There's a full Jesus here. There's
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But he's not the only one that's
So wait,
happened
what was the
to.
deal? Does anybody? Are we
So
privy to the deal he got?
basically, he was like, if you want to get ahead, you got to fucking suck my dick. And then when people would leave, or they try to leave, he'd be like, bitch, if you fucking leave Bad Boy, I'm gonna release that fucking thing. Are you sucking my dick? And those are all that's
nobody called him on it. Like at some point, you think someone would be like, when you do this, like it's over, right? If you release your own.
And then then he flew. So then the FBI raided his house, right? And which is wild because I guess he just left his older kids. They're like burning papers and shit like that, which is weird. I always think it's funny when FBI comes and raids someone's house and they have to burn papers. Like what paperwork is involved for this?
I'm assuming that he had a bookshelf with the binders.
Yeah, exactly. And so he flew to. He flew somewhere where they can't extradite him right the same day that they fucking raided him. So now he's sitting in some fucking country where he can't be expedited right now.
Ecuador, whatever. Yeah. These people, these are all the people that this happens to. They're all products of the late 90s, early 2000s, back when there weren't security cameras. Everybody assumed that life was just unrecorded. You'll start to see a lot less of this once like the modern generation grows up and just assumes that everything's already on YouTube. I think so much bad behavior will disappear.
Well, I think, a lot of bad behavior will disappear. I think people are just going to be more open about shit too.
Well, I think people also overcorrect the other way. But I think like this specifically, what I don't understand is, was nobody like, hey, not only am I not going to suck your dick, but also I'm going to go tell everyone that you asked me to fucking suck your dick. That's what I don't understand. Like, how did it's been a decade of this or whatever. He's been around for more than a decade.
Here's the deal. Put yourself in this situation. Puff Daddy walks up to you, P. Diddy, whatever he is at the time. He goes,
"Are you a bad boy?"
Yeah, he goes, "Hey, listen, I'm going to make you a multimillionaire within a year. You're going to be so rich beyond your belief. Hoes, fucking cars, everything you ever fucking wanted. You just got to show me loyalty right now."
90% of people will do
say
that.
Yes.
What about the 10% that are like,
right,
no, dude,
right,
I'm not going to do that.
Nobody along the way was like, he had 100% yes rate?
I listen, right now, if he comes up to me and goes, "Andrew, I'll get fucking 10 million views on your special." Right.
And it's
now,
right.
It's not just dudes, by the way. It's women. There's a woman who was like, she got a payout or whatever, and then all of a sudden a ton of people came forward. I think he's probably done a vast majority of these things, but it is always kind of like fascinating to me the way one person comes forward and then all of a sudden more people are asking for.
One of 50 Cent's baby mamas was involved in it.
Oh yeah, 50 Cent is all over fucking shitting on Diddy. It's pretty fun. So 50 Cent is.
So this is all news to him too now?
Yeah. Well, some of it he's like, "Told y'all." Like,
because I feel like I've had private conversations about
Cat Williams
his
talking
sexual
about it.
orientation. Multiple times with other people who would have known.
For sure.
Like
I think it's rumors. It was like one of those things. It was like, well, we don't have any proof yet. Now there's more proof, more people coming out, and I think that it's pretty nuts. It's pretty wild. Ironic that the FBI busted in his back door. All right.
You just won't let that prolapse
I
go,
won't,
will you?
No. And then I think it's crazy. Also, this is the first time. This is kind of this is white people shit. I think it's kind of cool. Black people stealing our culture, so kind of nice.
I think they're gonna get Jay-Z next.
Oh, why? What'd he do?
I think he's probably something similar to that.
No,
he cheated on Beyonce.
Yeah, they're gonna get him for just being bad to Beyonce.
What if
he's already done that a couple times.
What if we find out Queen Bee herself is not so innocent? What if we
find
out?
As Houston, I don't think we can do that.
Don't you
right?
fucking
we'll
dare!
We'll all lose it. I can't. I can't wrap my head around that.
I
Will
love
the city commit
her.
Harry Carey? What will we do?
Just another thing that Alex Jones was right about.
You gotta understand.
What did he do? What did he say
about sex trafficking elites?
Like, yeah.
Well, putting the kids in the container cars, Andrew. I got the documents right here.
That's pretty good.
They ship them in. I haven't read the documents, Joe, but I've got them right here.
Do you do a lot of impressions?
No, I don't even do this one.
Okay. I'm not an impression guy at all. That was pretty good, I thought.
You know, you did an impression on this episode of an Indian child.
I mean, it was pretty accurate, though. If
What?
you would have heard,
They're not like my impressions?
First off, I was an impression of a
Never
white
gonna
kid
be
doing
on
an
SNL.
Indian child.
It was an impression of an impression.
Yes, I was, just so you know, If it gets clipped by itself, not going to look great.
Scott,
if
you know
have
what
the
to
first
do.
few minutes before,
Clip it.
it'll be fine. But yeah,
Just you repeat. Go. No.
yeah. It's brutal listening to that kid play video games. Here, we are running out of time, so let's
We
give
gotta
out
give
some advice.
Bad advice.
And
Don't
then,
take this advice.
Or take it.
Or take it.
That's very Pete Idiot-ish. Just
I know.
take
Just
it.
take it.
Take that advice.
There's something. Well, I'm not gonna say what I was just thinking.
Say it. Why not?
No.
Don't be scared. What do you think? Your
No.
husband's gonna leave you?
I think that.
Also, your husband left a nice comment.
I know, he's the best.
Yeah, he's a
and
very sweet
he's
guy.
super supportive, and my brother also left a nice text to me about you that I shared with you, and you wrote back gay.
It was pretty gay.
Just trying to show my friend some love.
Did you screenshot that and send it to him?
No, but I should have.
Yeah, you should have. That would have been nice. I've never met your brother, so
He's the fucking best. You'll meet him at our next. My husband and I never had a wedding, so we do an every 5-year thing, just for friends and
I'm
no
busy
kids
that
allowed.
day, unfortunately.
You're gonna be there,
I'm busy.
and you'll also be in Mexico City this summer.
I don't know about that.
All
I should
right.
find a wife, though.
We're
got?
gonna give out some advice.
What
I
we
can
got,
read
Mike?
it too if you want to pull it
Yeah,
up.
Mike's not great at reading.
I don't
Great with
think I'll be able to get
computers,
through it
but-
with my voice.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me do it. We're doing the relationship.
You have it on your phone.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do have it on my phone. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna do it.
All right, you ready?
Obviously, clip this.
Cut this
Okay.
part out. Here we go. Let's give some advice. Jamie, what do we got?
All right. Let me give you some context as to why this issue bothers me. Basically, my boyfriend has this female coworker, mind you, she's married, and she usually used to constantly complain about her husband to my boyfriend, got drunk, used to call my boyfriends and say things like, "I'm so drunk, I can't find my keys," hinting that he should come pick her up. Complained when he wouldn't answer her messages, showed him her tan lines at work. When she came back from her holiday, asked him if he wanted to have a drink with her after everyone had left the office. I mean, do you see where I'm coming from? After I told him this bothered me, he agreed, and he placed some boundaries between them and made it known to her. But ever since, she's been shitting on him, taking credit for his work, and they'd always get into work disputes, and he would tell me about it afterwards. After all of this, you'd think my boyfriend would stop conversing with her, but no, he keeps having occasional lunches with her, which in my mind doesn't make sense. Because he'd been in this situation.
I already know what's going on here.
I would
dude.
keep my distance and lunch alone or with other people. I spoke to him about this, and he said it's not on purpose and that it just happens when he tells coworkers he's going for lunch and she tags along. Now, they're going on a work trip next week for 5 days, and it's just the two of them. Given everything that has happened with her, I'm quite uncomfortable with the thought of it. I trust him, but I don't trust her. I don't know. Any advice on how to approach this situation?
Slade, do you want to go first?
Sock of nickels in a dark dumpster.
Yeah.
That's one, stop projecting your shit all over the situation. I think, here's what I think, here's what it looks like to me. This wouldn't feel like this to me.
There are facts about it,
but
and I don't think your husband's giving them to you.
That's the so the truth is here's the messy truth at the big top of it all. Y'all's relationship probably isn't right. You're not supposed to be together. He's not ready to leave you, and he doesn't want to be with this crazy chick. She's psycho, chasing you to lunch, doing all this other stuff. It's also probably not as psycho as he's making it out to be. He's just saying she's psycho because he doesn't want to explain the truth to you. But the truth is, you two should be done with each other, and you shouldn't be thinking about what he's doing with crazy people or otherwise. You two are poisonous for one another. And that's
Absolutely.
all just from one text message.
I
Yeah.
don't think that she's getting the full story from him
No.
at all.
Yeah, there's no way that he sets
They're
boundaries.
boyfriend girlfriend, not married. So like this is, and
is
I think they're
stupid.
pretty young.
Yes.
Yeah.
'Cause
What are you hanging
I
on
know-
to?
Yeah.
If there's not human beings that you were jointly responsible for, or even give the pet away. Nothing is worth the amount of wasted time you spend with a human being that you're not right for.
I'm
Also, if
fascinated
someone's
she
taking
says I
credit-
trust him.
Someone's able to take credit for your work. You know what that means? They got some shit on you.
Yes,
They got shit on you, dude. They're like, what are you going to do?
What is
I
this
have this on you.
5-day work trip, just the two of them. That
Yeah.
sounds a little suspect, depending on what they do. What does he do? He's a pizza delivery driver.
I know. I wish we had more details, but I
So what
think
do
that
they
like
do for a living, their addresses, that'd
also
be cool.
if there was something happening between them, it would make sense that he would go back if he is doing something that is not trustworthy, it would make sense that he'd go back to his girlfriend and be like, I hate her at work. Now it's awful at work.
Of course.
She's not getting the full picture. She got jealous of things that were legitimate. And so he started saying, oh, no, we hate each other now, and I set boundaries now.
Right.
I don't really buy that when you're going to lunch together and going on a work trip together.
It's also possible that he works with this person. They have a very normal, functional work relationship, and his home life is just insane. And this chick keeps thinking there's stuff wrong with work. So he's like, oh, yeah, she's a terrible human. Whatever I got to do to say you're insane, paranoia.
As much, I don't like, first of all, her being paranoid, crazy. I get, like, I mean, I'm not saying she's crazy. I'm just saying that doesn't help the situation.
Correct.
There is probably something going on.
Correct.
More than she thinks. But I would imagine it's probably somewhere between how awful she thinks something's going on and then where it actually is. But I think that, you guys are fucked.
I think she's fighting a kitchen grease fire with a big bucket of grease. Is what I think.
Yeah.
And what do you think when like people say that phrase? I hear this a lot. I trust my person. I don't trust other people. It's like
I never hear that.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't
That
make
makes
sense.
no sense.
I, as a person who's been in a very long-term relationship, I really trust my person. And the thing is, like, yes, there are things that make me uncomfortable that, like, but I'm never gonna be the wife that's like, no, you can't go on a boys trip. No, you can't go do this and that, because he's earned over that many years, like almost 2 decades now, he's earned my trust. So I just have to like tell myself when I'm feeling those uncomfortable things, if you really trust him, you have to trust him and be vulnerable or end the relationship. I don't see the in between, like acting paranoid, whatever. Either you trust him or you don't.
Period.
And if you're feeling uncomfortable, it's because you don't trust him and you shouldn't be together.
Yeah, I think a thing that happens in life a lot is there is a thing where the partner, this girl, wants to think the best of her boyfriend, right? Wants to think the best of her boyfriend. So she's like, this girl is crazy, bothering him, like blah, 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 blah. He's probably doing some shitty things, and that's the thing is everyone will make an excuse. Like I have a married friend who I hang out with, and she is always getting on. She's always like, I don't know if you should hang out with him. He's a bad influence. Guess what? The guy is just as shitty, if not worse. He's the bad influence, but because they're together, they want to think the best in their partner. So that's the bad end. You know what I mean?
It's like, not just relationships.
It's pretty
like
fucking normal.
Intimate relationships, like parent relationships, can be like that too. I really loved one. So one of my best friends, who actually lives in Austin.
Oh, different
she
school
exists.
best friend. Different school best friend.
But growing up, I loved that her parents were like, she's the bad. She's the one who's like the bad. What am I trying to say? Not example. She's the one who's influence. That's the word. Words. She's the one who's the bad influence. Like, we got caught sneaking out and they blamed it on her. I was like, most parents are going to like try to make it so that their kid, it's obviously someone else's kid that's the bad influence or someone else doing this or that. I love it when people can see clearly. By the way, she probably wasn't fully the bad influence, but it's nice when someone can acknowledge. So, but I think it's human nature for everyone. When it's a person you love, you want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Also, though, some people and I don't know this girl at all, but some people do like to they only know how to live in dramatic situations. If there's not tension, it tends to get created. And sometimes that's just if it wasn't this thing, it would be this thing. And even if that girl wasn't at your job for the rest of forever, then chances are there would be a problem with something else, because it sounds like you only really kind of know how to live in a tense environment.
I would almost recommend living in the drama when you're in your teens and your early 20s. But then it's like, because then it's exciting. You have some stories for when you're older.
But
you have
also
some
know
heartache.
what you never want to tolerate again.
Yes. So get it. If you're in your 20s still, like, get in the shit. But I just feel like,
I think that's crazy advice right there.
Don't
go look,
don't
because
go
this is the thing.
for it.
Hurt people, broken people break people. And I think
everybody's been hurt.
I think when you get but when you get hurt or you get broken at a young age, you know what you usually do? You usually fucking break or hurt the next person you're with. And it's fucked, but it's in your fucking, it sucks, and it's a cycle that everyone should go to therapy.
So you just never be vulnerable? So when someone sends you a lovely text, you respond, gay.
I write K sometimes. Just K.
God,
or like
word
is nice. K. Winky face. Thanks.
if I don't have any emotions?
Maybe I shouldn't say live in the drama, but I think take a few more risks when you're younger and be a little vulnerable. Like, if you're gonna you can't avoid. I feel like some people write in for advice like, how do I not get hurt? But like, that's life. You get a little hurt.
It's you don't. Well, and there's also degrees of hurt. Like, I think there's hurt that is helpful. There's hurt that's helpful. There's hurt that helps you become a stronger, better person. And then there's the hurt that happens to people early on and they never get out of it. And I think that's what because to me, what survival mode, I was talking about this the other day, like in depth, but survival mode and like happiness mode are completely mutually exclusive. So when you're young and you're kind of in the drama and all this stuff, if you get out of it the wrong way, you can grow up thinking, I'm a survivor, which makes everything you get into a survival situation because that's sort of your default setting. And that's when you're young, that's the time to kind of do it. You just got to come out of it like not, I'm a survivor, like, whew, I'll never do that shit again. I'm going to go be happy.
Trauma versus pain. I think that would be
okay,
the
there you
difference.
go.
One's trauma, one's innate. Okay, one's just living life. Okay, we should do our socials.
Well, I think they should break up.
Yeah, regardless, I don't belong together.
Break up.
Break up.
3 for 3. You're going to Hollywood, not together.
All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's go with yours first. Slade, the special was great.
Thank you.
Watch it. Signal Noise on YouTube. Give them all your socials.
Everything
Everything.
is at Sladeham. SLADEHAM. But YouTube's certainly where I'd rather people go. And if you get lost, sladeham.com.
Boom. Then they can find it there too.
Yeah,
right?
if you go to sladeham.com, there's an immediate link over.
Yeah, I still got to add mine.
Watch it, like, subscribe, leave comments, all that helps.
Definitely
right?
comment.
Yeah.
And
comment.
if you sincerely don't
Nice
like
stuff.
it, say so. I'm gonna filter and delete all those.
I'm
not you.
making the fake accounts right now.
Bring it.
Yeah.
Follow me at the Jamie Rowan. Follow at the Mess Hall Pod. We have a live podcast at the Riot Comedy
This will be
Festival
out
this
after
weekend.
that. Loser.
You won't be there. Okay.
Sorry, guys. It was great.
It was so fun.
At No Youngblood on everything except for TikTok because it was taken. So it's at No Youngblood 69. That doesn't make any sense. But at No Youngblood on everything. AndrewYoungblood.com. I got a ton of tour dates. I'm going all over the country, even some international. Tokyo. Canada. I'm going everywhere. And then please check out the special on YouTube. Mark Norman's YouTube. I'll tell you this. Check it out. Leave a comment. I don't care what you think of it. I liked it. You guys have a good one. Bye.
Okay.